Good evening again, guys. True Night here. So this weekend I went to a case tournament at Ghost Gaming, held by Brandon Beckman. Shout out there. Ran Swordsoul. Went X2, took 5th place out of, I believe it was 41 players. So not too bad overall. Definitely the highest place I've ever had at an event of that caliber. So feels great being back in the game after just 6 months and being able to do that. So yeah, let's get right into the deck. So I adapted PAX playlist, but let's go through it. 3 Ecclesia. I know a lot of people say they rather run 2 is comfortable for them, yada yada yada. I think 3 is the correct play, so won't change that. Next up, running 3 Moye. Card is insane. Whenever you sync or summon, you will draw a card with it, so it's a great card. Definitely the best Swordsoul. 3 One. Still running at 3. He's my favorite Swordsoul. Goes and gets your big guys, and the caveat on top of him is if your opponent infinite or Veilers, you still have a 2300 booty on board for your opponent to get over. So, last but not least, 2 Taya. 2 is still the correct play. I know some people are talking about running it at 1 just because they want to put more cards in, but with Pod Desires, I think 2 is still correct. I got your 3 Rhoda and Emergence, and the level modulation you get when you banish is great too to go into Yazi or any of the kind of plays you're trying to run. And last but not least, you got your 1 Blackout. Great card. I think that going into this card is never a bad idea or searching it up. Also, getting a token when banishing is pretty insane. 10's did change. It's great even though you banish it to lock yourself into worms. It's still a great card. Yes, Bestials do hurt this deck a bit, but we carry on from it. Running 1 Vishuda, and last I'm running 2 Hara. I think right now with the current format as it stands, this is the correct ratio to go with, just because we run the Bestial package, and so these guys are complementary because they do lead you into a free backseat at times, but Bestials are kind of the new tennies in this sorts. So speaking of, I'm running 3 Magnum. Card Bee's Knees, you go and get Bestial at the end of turn. I am running 3 Druisworm. Card is pretty nuts. When you send it to the graveyard with a special summon, you can pop a special summon monster. And the 1 Serenir, I was running 2 just because these cards are so good, and I think I might put it back up to 2, but we'll kind of see from there. And last but not least, I am running 1 Destrudo. For me in the tournament, it didn't really come up much. The one time it did, I was just extending for game, but I do see the thought philosophy behind it, and I love the idea of it. Now for the main hand traps, I am running the 3 Ash. I think at the locals level, you can never go wrong with this kind of negation. It really helps out a lot because you're not just facing tier 9. Speaking of more hand traps, I do run Effect Veiler. Great card, really helps out a lot. It does help out for extending, and it does help out for some pretty nutty plays if you have the extra deck monsters for it. 2 Pod Desires, really wish this card was at 3. And last, my favorite card in the deck, Infinite Permanence. This card is pretty insane, really hoping that it avoids the ban list. To the extra deck, I am running 2 of the Monk. This card, great card, really helps you extend plays when you get it on field and get it to stick. Wouldn't change it right now. We'll see what happens with the deck going forward in the future. I do run 1 Lina and 1 Dark. I think that these cards are great. I went into dark several times. I never touched Lina, but it just never came up. Never had the opportunity. But I do like the idea of it. One of my favorite cards in the whole deck, Wolo. I don't understand why people are sleeping on this card. Sorry, but great card. Next we run the 1 Yazi and 2 Baxia. I was running 1 the whole week prior to the tournament, but this effect is insane. Both effects. Spinning back 2 at a time, and you can do it multiple times, and then extending. It's pretty bonkers. You got your Swordsoul stuff, 2 Shisha. We're gonna do 1 less or 1 more. You got your 2 Synchro 10s. Great cards right now. You got your 1 Baron, of course. You got your Berserker. And my last card for the extra was Dragot. I think that this card's pretty nuts right now, even though a lot of people are running different ones. They're running kind of Crimson Blade or anything else, like maybe a Psychic Puncher or something like that. But I think that this guy with the Runic deck, with Sprite, all those things, this card's pretty insane. So, oh right, and last but not least, we got the side deck. Shout out to Anthony King. Went over this pretty in depth with him. I ran 2 Nibiru and 1 Blackout going first. This card is great for Swordsoul, and I really want to see it all the time. It's after effect of banishing and getting a token. Saves your life sometimes, so really wouldn't change it. Love the idea behind it. For the rest of the side deck, because I'm running 17 hand traps, I went with a lot of board breakers. So I went Dark Ruler no more. I went Lightning Storm. I went Triple Tactics. And finally, Anti-Spell. Definitely will be changing this card out. I don't know what to what, but I'll have to figure it through. Love my side deck aside from that, and I think that's pretty strong for the format right now. These cards are board breakers and game winners, so can't go wrong with that. But yeah, more to come in the future, guys, with my ideas now, because I did adapt a lot of Pax philosophy in this and kind of just ran with it. So like I said at the beginning, definitely the highest I've ever placed at the level that I'm playing at right now, so feels good to only be back in the game for 6 months and be able to do that. So I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do now that I'm going to kind of dive more into my take on these. So look out for more profiles and be on the lookout for match videos that I had at the tournament. Went X2 and took 5th place. So I think there was, like I said, 41 players. So feels good, man. All right, guys. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you guys soon.